Hi guys, thank you so much for watching The Royal We. My name is Kevin, here in downtown St. Louis, Missouri, across the Mississippi River from Illinois, or as the locals around here like to call it, East Side St. Louis. Now, this video is not meant to talk about Missouri. What this video is meant to talk about is forgiveness. Guys, forgiveness is such a huge part of your healing from narcissistic abuse. Just how big of a deal is forgiveness? Well, let me put it to you this way. I was a part of a support group for many years, and we had a saying in that support group. And it went like this: holding on to unforgiveness is like taking in poison into your body and expecting someone else to die. And maybe that's you right now. Maybe you feel like you have ingested poison and it's eating you from the inside out while you're watching a narcissistically abusive person move on and enjoy their life. Now, you and I both know, if you're watching this video, that you struggle with unforgiveness. And you and I both know that there's somebody in your life right now who you need to forgive. And no, it's not the narcissist. The first person you need to forgive is yourself. By the end of this video, guys, I hope to have two understandings here. One, just how important it is to be able to forgive yourself, and two, practical steps that you can take to receive forgiveness in your life and to know that you're forgiven. First, let's talk about some of the main reasons why you may need forgiveness. Let's start with the basic one. Let's talk about how quickly you possibly have jumped into a relationship with a narcissistically abusive person. Let's talk about how quickly you got intimate, you got sexual, right? I'm talking 0 to 60 on the very first date. Yes, it happens. You meet the person, you go home, and you jump into sex right away, or even a week later, and then you're moving in together within a month. This really becomes an issue for those of you who have a background in faith and who go to church. Maybe you're a part of a prayer team. Maybe you're even a part of a worship team. And this act of moving in and getting involved sexually goes against the very values that you're trying to build inside of your own life. Does this cause some shame? Does this produce some guilt? Possibly, yeah. What are some other things? Well, maybe you were introduced to some drugs or some illegal activity with the narcissistically abusive person in your life. Maybe you started to partake in this stuff. Can this produce some shame in your life and some guilt? Probably. How about yelling and screaming and fighting and cussing? The reactions that narcissistically abusive people draw out of you. That you know that that's not the person you are. You know it's not the person you want to be in life. You're a giving, loving, nurturing person. So the fact that you're now yelling and cussing and fighting, can this produce and bring some shame into your life? Probably. How about this one, guys? How about not being able to stand up for yourself the right way? I'm not talking about yelling at the narcissist. I'm not talking about beating them over the head with a broom. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. I'm talking about your ability to stand up and say, "You're psycho, I'm done with this relationship, I'm out of here," at the very beginning of it. Does understanding that you were not able to stand up for yourself in this way, can this produce some shame and possibly some guilt? Probably. And now when I talk about shame and when we talk about guilt, guys, what I'm really referring to is things that you would not share with your family or your friends. This is what you can consider shameful, or things that might give you a feeling of guilt. So you get involved with a narcissistically abusive person. You have sex on the first date or in the first week. Are you telling your friends about that? Probably not. Are you calling your mom and your dad, "Hey, guess what? I met this guy and we just had sex on the first night." Or, "Hey, guess what, guys? I met this great person and guess what? They're doing some drugs and I'm trying it. Guess what? I met this person and I'm moving in a week. Guess what? I'm getting in fights and yelling and screaming matches with this person, guys, and I'm not able to leave the relationship." right? So when we talk about shame and guilt, that's what we're talking about. The fact that you are withholding this stuff from people who love you. This is how you know you're doing something that inside your own mind, inside your own life is producing a fruit of shame. Now, watch this. What happens? This is the second point that you got to be aware of. When you're not able to share these things with other people, guess what happens? You start to rely more and more on the one person who does know about these things that you're doing. And guess who that is? The narcissist. You become dependent on the narcissist to validate you, to comfort you, to make you feel like it's okay that you're doing these things, even though deep down you know that it's not okay. So not very long ago, guys, I received a phone call from a YouTube subscriber, and this girl told me her story about how she was love bombed by a man. And they got real hot and heavy real fast. And after they got hot and heavy and had already become physically involved and sexual in their relationship, she found out that he was married. And now, obviously, like all narcissistically abusive guys, he lied to her. He said that he was unhappy in his marriage and that he was separated and that they were planning a divorce. And so she continued on in this sexual, adulterous relationship with this narcissistically abusive man. And when I asked her over the phone, I said, why? Why did you continue in the relationship even though you knew he was still a married man? And her answer was something that made me realize how important forgiveness is, and it also broke my heart. She said, Kevin, the reason I stayed in the relationship is because I did not want to deal with the guilt and the shame of being a mistress or being involved with a married man. And I figured that if I stayed in the relationship and that if I gave it my all, which she did by being with him, then in time he would leave his wife and be with me, and that would take the guilt away from me because it would be his decision to leave his wife and be with me. Now, I know it sounds twisted, but I get it. I got it. I understood what she was saying. She did not want to deal with the guilt and the shame involved with knowing that she was lied to and had been involved in an adulterous relationship with another man, because that is not her character. That is not what she stands for. And it got her trapped. Now, you want to know the saddest part of the story, guys? The saddest part of the story is that she wasted 10 years of her life. 10 years. While she stayed and continued to have this adulterous relationship. The saddest part, guys, is that she stayed in the relationship for 10 years. 10 long years. She stayed in an adulterous relationship with a married man. And it amazes me because had she only had realized, if somebody would have told her, just go and get prayer and confess, openly confess that you've been involved with a married man, openly confess it and receive forgiveness. It was a mistake and it's not your fault. If she would have done that, it could have broken the chains a lot earlier in her life. Now listen, guys, I'm not trying to tell you that openly confessing these deep, dark things is going to cure all of your pain and cure all of your suffering that has come out of the abusive relationship. That's not at all what I'm telling you. But what I am saying is that it is definitely going to break a lot of chains and it's going to free you up. That I promise you. So it's extremely important that you forgive yourself, that you understand forgiveness. So let's talk about point number 3. Where can you go? What are some practical ways that you can find forgiveness, that you can experience true forgiveness in your life? Well, for those of you guys who are actively involved in church or you have faith in one way, shape, or form, it's a little bit easier, yet it's still going to be uncomfortable for you. It's going to be a little bit awkward, especially if you're involved in the church. Maybe you're a worship leader, maybe you're on the prayer team. You need to go to these people, and here's what you have to do. You have to be able to go and you have to speak out these things that you were involved with, these things that you have done. You have to speak them out. Not only that, but you have to speak out the name of the abusive person in your life. Speak his name out. And you have to be able to admit, this was the relationship. I got involved sexually really fast, and I shouldn't have. I moved in within a week or 2 weeks or a month, and it's eating me up. The shame that I feel is eating me up, and I need forgiveness. So you need to speak these things out into existence. Speak them out into the open, and then allow a prayer team to pray over you and experience the love and acceptance from genuine people that's there for you. You need to experience that. That only comes from speaking out all the stuff. Get it all out. Now, if you're not somebody who goes to church and you don't believe in any of that stuff, that's fine. That's fine. You can still do the same thing by writing out all the stuff that you've done, the dark things that you believe that you've done that have gone against your character and they go against your integrity. Get it out. Meet with a friend, meet with a family member, and say, I have some things I have to confess and I have to get out. It breaks these chains. You're no longer holding on to these things. You're no longer holding on to unforgiveness for your own actions. You've spoken it out. This is powerful. And I hope that you guys watching this video are going to implement this in your life and take a moment, take some time to forgive yourself. I promise you, it's gonna break some chains in your life from the narcissistically abusive person. And finally, guys, if you don't have anybody to talk to, if you don't have anybody to experience this forgiveness through, if you don't go to church, and if you don't have friends or family that you can count on, then you can contact me. This is what I'm here for. This is why I do what I do. And this is why I leave my telephone number at the end of all my videos. It's gonna be at the end of this video on the end screen. You can pick up that telephone and contact me, and you and I together will go over some of these dark things that you know you should not have gotten yourself involved in, and you will experience forgiveness. All right? Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, any questions, leave them here for me. You're welcome to contact me at the telephone number at the end of the video. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a part of the Royal We. Hi, guys.
Thanks for watching the Royal We.
Yes, thank you for watching the Royal We. I want to let you guys know that I am almost finished with the course. It's going to be available pretty soon, and I'm excited to be able to offer that to you guys. I also want to let you guys know that I'm thankful for all of your phone calls. You can continue to contact me. It's absolutely free. But for those of you who have demanded that you be able to give back in return, I want to let you know that I have put a donation link on my channel. So you're welcome to donate whatever you would like to donate to this channel. And you don't have to. That's completely up to you. Bless you guys. Thank you. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber, and we will be back with more right here on the Royal We. While you look at the camera, you gotta stay looking at the camera, okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Guys, I'll say hi and then you say hi. No finger in the nose. You gotta be professional. 1, 2, 3. Hi guys.